Hi there everybody, Jason here. Just thought I'd do a update of my video game collection. One of the first videos I did, which was actually almost exactly 2 years ago today, I did a quick shot of my whole video game collection. And in the 2 years there's been a few changes, quite a few extra games added to my collection, especially with the Sega CD, TurboGrafx 16, and a few other systems. Let me just show you around. I'm going to make it quick because I got over 5,500 video games, so I can't stay long on one section. I'm going to jump from here to here to here, just tell you kind of what I have, and hope you enjoy what I have to show you. So let's start with, right behind me here, the NES. Here we are, the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever you want to call it. I have a lot of games, a lot of box games, a lot of complete games. In fact, I'm missing only the Cheetahman 2 Stadium Events, the 3 adult games, although I do have the reproductions, just because the price of them are so insane, and also the Nintendo World Championship. I have over 750 of the games are boxed, actually over 740. And I know I said I have 781, which is more than that was released in the US, but I have a lot of homebrews. As you can see, and the boxes and manuals are in very nice condition. All the games work, I should say. I checked them out a long time ago. And then another shelf right here. Here are some of the homebrew and loose games. I do have Color Dinosaur and Little Samson, and then stuff like Luigi's Chronicle right there, and Transformers, Ease 2, which are all homebrew games that I pick up at conventions. Speaking of conventions, only 2 weeks away from the Midwest Gaming Classic. If you see me there and you want to say hi, please come up and say hello to me. I always like meeting other collectors. Next up we got the Super Nintendo, which has changed quite a bit. I have quite a few box games here. I actually have 265 Super Nintendo games. I got a lot of the good stuff, the Earthbounds. I have the Final Fantasies. I have Chrono Trigger. A lot of the really good games. The ActRaisers, all the Donkey Kong Countries, the Castlevanias, and all that good stuff of the world. Secret of Mana. And then over here are a bunch of my loose Super Nintendo games that I kind of have stacked here, and as you can see I have stacks behind there. I do have manuals for some of these, but I kind of have them stacked here because I ran out of shelf space. I got to build a new shelf because I don't like having games stacked behind each other. I like all games easily to find. So my Super Nintendo collection on my last video was probably half the size that it is right now. And at the very bottom here is my N64 collection, which I have 110 games for. That also doubled since my last video from 2 years ago. Some of them are boxed, some I just have the cases for, but I got a lot of the good stuff, the Mario parties, both Legend of Zeldas, Super Mario 64, well geez, I think everybody should have that. So my N64 collection has grown quite a bit since then. APF still got all the games, the Arcadia 2001, all of the games. In fact, the Spider game I had was actually an imported one. It was not the actual US release, but I did finally pick up the US version of Spiders. It's just not in the box. I got all 4 Action Max games, all 4, the other ones in the box, all 4 games for the Adventure Vision. The entire F-Channel video game system, all 26 games. I got some Gamecom, don't ask me why. And then down here, my Intellivision has grown quite a bit too. I was missing quite a few games. I believe I have 135 games for the Intellivision, so I'm close to the complete collection, but I don't think I'm ever going to get the complete collection because some of the games that you have to complete it with are really expensive and they're not a lot of fun. Atari 2600. Again, I've got a few extra boxes since the last video. This whole shelf was not filled with Atari 2600 games. Now it is. In fact, it continues a little bit over there. I have a lot of loose games. I know that doesn't look like 454 games, but those are just my box games. That's about half the collection, and the other half is, well, right over here. So here are the other Atari 2600 games. These are a few of your more rare games. I got Chase the Chuck Wagon and Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Video Jogger, Video Reflex, And there's a few imports here too, which brings my total up to the 464. I will never complete the collection, because to complete this collection you have to really fork out a lot of money for a lot of rare games, and I am not a millionaire, so I will not ever complete it, but that's cool with me. And up here I have my 3DO collection. Most of it is in long box. I do have a few loose games, probably about 10 loose games. This has grown a few. I've gotten a few extra games, maybe about 6, 7 extra 3DO games than I had before. And then right next to it I have the complete Vectrex collection. Those are just the ones I have boxed. I do have the loose games as well. And the complete collection of the Microvision, all the games that released for that first handheld system. And up here I have the Atari Lynx, 69 games. Almost all those games are still sealed. I picked that up a long time ago. Only a few games away from a complete collection. I haven't tried to find those games actually though. One of these days I'm going to have to try to see if I could complete this here collection. Let's see, all the games for the original 1972 Odyssey, Magnavox Odyssey. These are all the overlays, all the extra ones that you could buy for it. Let's see, then on the next shelf we got almost the entire collection of Atari 5200 games. Almost all of them boxed. I have a few loose ones up top, but basically all of them boxed. I'm missing, of course, Bounty Bob, and that one is really expensive now. I wish I would have picked it up 10 years ago when it wasn't so bad. Now it's crazy. All the Telstar games right there. Then over here there's still the complete Atari 7800 collection. I think I was missing the Rampage box in my last video. I did get that. And from the video I did 2 years ago, one of my collections that has really grown is the Atari Jaguar. Before I think I had less than 30 games. Now I'm at 49 games, I think. I'm only missing a handful. And of course I got 11 games for the Jaguar CD. I got some of the long boxes that I gotta, like I said earlier, I gotta build a new shelf. I'm running out of room. And all the games for the Odyssey 2, the entire collection. And then another thing that's grown since my last video is my ColecoVision. I've gotten quite a few more games. Sorry, there they are, starting right there, Beam Rider. And quite a few more box games than I had before. I believe I have about 85 games altogether for the ColecoVision. And I'll show you where some more are. And then here's my loose ColecoVision games that I don't have boxes for. Very hard to get boxes for ColecoVision games, but quite a few and a couple up there. Also, here are some of my loose Intellivision games. Like I have Diner, some of the rarer games that I don't have the boxes for. And also for the Atari 2600, I do have the tape deck, the Supercharger. I do have games. There's some box games over there as well. And up here at the very top, I have some CDI games. Blah. I have some N-Gauge games. I have the complete collection of the RCA Studio 2 with that really rare that there's not a lot of this demo cartridge, which somebody said there's only 3 of those that are known to exist, but I don't know if that's true or not. And up there in the dark, I probably can't see it too good, there's a few of the loose Atari 5200 games. Sorry if I'm jumping all around. We have the 32X, the complete collection, all the games, including, I do have the Amazing Spider-Man in box right there. And this is the other thing that's grown. Before I had less than 100 Sega CD games. Now I am one stinking game away from the complete collection, and that's that Coing or Flying Squadron, however it's pronounced, and that is going to cost me quite a bit. Other than that, I have I have Snatcher, which I played last year, which was a lot of fun, down there in the corner. Snatcher, and some of the more rare ones like the Space Adventure and Soul Star. So one game away from the complete collection. Hopefully I'll get it soon for a decent price. Then we got the Sega Saturn, which has grown quite a bit too. Got all the quality games here, from the Panzer Dragoon Sagas, the Dragon Forces, all bunch of really, the prices of these Saturn games have just gone out of control from when I collected these over 10 years ago. So close to a little over half the collection. There's a few of my boxed or I should say with the full box of the TurboGrafx 16, but I do have far more games behind me I'll show you in a second. And the complete collection of the PlayStation 1 long boxes. Those are all the long box games that were released for the system. Then over here we have my Xbox collection, original Xbox. About 175 games for the original Xbox. The entire Astrocade collection. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the complete collection. I have 31 of the games for the Astrocade. There's a Super Nintendo like I showed you before. Down there are some boxed Game Gear games. I do have more than that. Those are my loose Vectrex games I was saying, and there are some loose, those are loose Astrocade games down there. Oh, and of course, for those who were saying, hey, what about those Odyssey 2 board game ones? There's the ones for the Odyssey 2. And behind there I have various stuff from all kinds of Menacers and the Power Glove and different type of controllers and television voice modulator. And I got shelves in front of it, but that's just for all different kind of extra things for video games. Of course, I have my Activision patches where I'm only missing, ooh, what am I missing? Like 4 or 5 of the Activision patches. All the way down there. Even have the hard to find the Pitfall 2 patch, which is, that cost me, I won't say how much, but it wasn't cheap. Then you get over here, we get the PlayStation 1 games. I have 383 PlayStation 1s, so these are quite a bit. Of course, there's about 100 of those long box ones behind me. Then over here, these are a lot of my, I do have loose Sega Saturn games that are in those clear case things. I do have, like Saturn Bomberman, some really good stuff in there. And I got a Dreamcast collection, not much, about 25 games for the Dreamcast. But then here's where my TurboGrafx starts, and I have 91 games for the TurboGrafx 16. And I'm only a few games away from complete collection, although I'm not going to spend over $3,000 or even more to get that magical chase. So I'm fine with not having the complete collection, but I sure do have a lot. Down at the bottom, some Game Boy boxes. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and the complete collection of the Virtual Boy. And those are some of the loose 3DO games that I don't have the long boxes for. And let's go next here. We have my the rest of my Game Boy, which I have 365 Game Boy games. And man, that's a lot of Game Boy games. All those all on the bottom. Those are some Neo Geo Pocket games right there, and a few extra of the N-Gage loose games that I have over there. And nothing's changed with the Master System, still got the complete collection. A few extra Genesis games in before, not a whole lot, probably added about 25 since my last video, filling up 1.5 shelves. Down at the bottom there I got my Supervision. And then my PlayStation 2 collection, which is about 465 games. Again, these shelves, I need to build a new shelf because these shelves are just, I got games stacked on top of games. Damn, my Neo Geo is fine, but I think last time I had only 10 games or less, and now I have, I think, 21 games there. And then all my, well, not all my systems, but all my box systems, and they're just jam-packed in there. Just about every system that I have a box for, complete with manual and everything. Sometimes I have two 232Xs, Saturns, I got multiple Ataris, Microvision, PlayStation, got a Super Nintendo down there, I got a Super Nintendo up top, extra Genesises, Neo Geo CD, newer games I do have upstairs. I do have like an Xbox One, and I actually have my PlayStation 2 upstairs. I got the Wii U, and I keep my newer stuff up there. TurboGrafx box, I didn't have that before. Super Graphics, I bought that at a convention last year. So a lot of box systems, and the other systems that are not boxed I have all in totes here with the controllers and the proper hookup, so whenever I want to hook up any type of system, it doesn't take long. I don't have to open up a bunch of boxes, and just all kinds of stuff underneath my air hockey table here of just systems, and then more systems over there. more systems underneath this TV, which I either play my games on this TV or that TV, depending on the older the systems I play on that TV, and the newer ones I will play on this one down here. And then I got extra stuff too. I got these tabletops, all kinds of different tabletops stuck up top there. And so that's about it. That's my collection for 2017. If you saw my video from a couple years ago, you could see that, well, I don't know if you can really tell that it's grown, but it has. And then of course I got all my bead characters up top here, which I forget how many I have. I counted a while ago, close to 100 different bead characters. So that's my collection. Updated, a little over 5,500 games. A few of them upstairs. Some of the more modern stuff is all upstairs, but yeah, I've been collecting since right about 1999, when all this stuff was still a good price and at the outrageous prices that they are now. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you're going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic and you see me, please come up and say hello. Always nice to meet other collectors. And thanks for watching.